top five time, baby.
Yeah,
The top
I thought
five.
top five holdovers. I like the pick for holdovers. Obviously, thought it would be a top five for you, but hey, number six is close. That's
I
for
will be
sure.
honest. I switched it out while you were talking about your number six. I switched it from number five to number six because I kept thinking about how much I love my number five more.
Mm-hmm.
And what I love about it. But we'll get there. Kyle, the top five.
Right.
What's your number five?
Number five for me is Killers of the Flower Moon. I thought
Love it.
Scorsese just did a great job at telling the story about this tribe and its unfortunate past, and at the same time, just great performances that just, left me kind of shaken at the end of the day. And then that ending as well also kind of leaves you shaken as well. So another movie that, I don't walk out happy exactly, but it just also left me thinking about more and more, and just with a whole slew of emotions that I put at number five for that.
Nice. My number five is Talk to Me. Talk to Me is brilliant in every level. It changes the horror genre. It's fantastic. The more I think about it, I love it. That, and with When Evil Lurks, it's some of the best horror I've seen in years. And as a guy who's really come to love horror over the last 5 years, I was blown away by this movie. I was blown away by it. And I think about it constantly. And I moved it up just a few minutes ago, live on air, to number five. And I was going to have it at six, but I think it deserves a top five spot. It literally changes some of the game, I think, of how you make horror. I think it's left on such a brilliant and beautiful tone. I freaking loved this movie. I thought it was phenomenal. And I think I don't know. I've seen it on some lists of critics, but I don't know how it's not on everybody's list. I think it's being forgotten about, and it shouldn't be.
Underrated gem.
It's brilliant. I don't even know how it can be considered underrated. To me, it's incredible, and it's a horror mainstay. Go ahead,
That's
Kyle. What's your number four?
Number four is The Holdovers. I had a big goofy smile on my face at the end of the day, but I still was just carried away by Alexander Payne's direction. I thought he just did a great job at, keeping you wrapped up in a warm blanket, but having some great homages to that feeling of like old classic cinema. But on top of that, having performances that tell an individual story and yet weaves them together within our three main leads. And I thought together, like, they just carried this movie, and they made me just care about them so much more than I was ever anticipating. And at the end of the day, I know I've had a lot of movies where like it left me feeling sad, but this is one of those that just made me goofily happy. So I just have a lot of love for that, and that's why I have it at number four.
I love it. Love the Holdovers. It's literally a warm hug. My numbers 1 through 4. If you get upset and you're like, how is that a 4? That should be number 1. How's that a 3? That should be at number 1. I agree with you. I'll happily move them. I think these are all brilliant, brilliant movies. My number 4 I watched again last night because I wanted some laughs, and that is Barbie. And Barbie is the funniest movie of the year. There's a few comedies I haven't seen. It's the funniest movie of the year. It's the best comedy. It is. Get out of the way. It is. It is brilliant. It is one of the best scripts of the year. I myself think it's there's movies I haven't seen yet, but I would have it as the winner right now for best original screenplay. I think it is phenomenal. I was blown away by how much I was still laughing watching it last night, how heartfelt it gets. It handles everything in all of the best ways possible. It is a phenomenal, phenomenal movie. It's weird to think that Barbie is this good. It's that good for a reason. It belongs at this spot. I adore this movie. I love this movie. I'm going to rewatch it probably once a freaking year. It's so funny. It's so heartfelt. Performances are fantastic. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's rightfully deserving to be the highest grossing movie of the year. Yep.
A lot of people liked it.
Honestly, I was debating putting it at number 1 for the last 3 months. I've been like, is Barbie my number 1? I think Barbie's my number 1. And I kept coming back. And then I eventually put it at 4, but I would gladly move it to number 1 because I think it's that good. Yeah. All right, Kyle, top 3 time, baby. What is number 3?
Number 3 for me is Poor Things. I was blown away by how much I enjoyed this movie. I thought it was strange in that gothic, almost psychedelic fairy tale type of aesthetic that I was having, from his costume design to his production designs. The almost watercolor like painted mural backgrounds I thought were incredible. Just very memorable stuff when it comes to the aesthetics of the whole movie. But at the core of it is an amazing performance by Emma Stone that I think is going to be one of the greats, one of the best in regards to her career. And I just thought that between that and the direction, it was just a great, interesting showcase of a woman learning about womanhood, but also adulthood, and the complexities and the joy, but also the horrors that can go into living life and experiencing life and being an adult. And I just thought that was very creative, but very well done and very well executed. And I think that it's just going to be a very memorable movie for me for a long time. So I put it that high up at number 3 for all those reasons.
Yeah, it made Kyle start scoring movies again on Letterbox. Yeah, Poor Things is great. My number 3 is Oppenheimer. I think Oppenheimer rightfully could have been number 1 or 2. I think Oppenheimer's brilliant. I saw it 3 times this year, all in the theater. I just got it on DVD. I want to watch it again. It was really hard to get. It's the highest selling DVD since like the 80s or something like that. Like it's like really difficult to get. But it's a brilliant, it's Nolan at his best. It is literally one of the best Nolan movies, up there with, I think, The Dark Knight, and Inception and some of his other ones. It's brilliant. It's Cillian Murphy's performance of a lifetime. I do think he is probably going to win the Oscar, and I think it's very, very deserving. He is so freaking good in Oppenheimer. This movie just blows me away. It really could have been number 1, maybe should have been number 1, but I think Oppenheimer is great. We got 2 picks left. Kyle and I have never not had a year where we've had the same movie in the same spot. And I am very curious if it's going to happen, because I'm not sure it is. We'll find out. I think I know the way your list is ending here. So let's I
wouldn't be surprised.
What's your number 2?
Yeah. My number 2, and granted, it was hard between these two, that's for sure. But as of now, I'm putting number 2 to be Past Lives. What Past Lives does, through its direction and through its performances, is some really great stuff in telling a love story, but spinning it in like the what ifs of a love story if things had gone just a little bit differently. And while I think it sounds like simple enough, it does a really great job through 3 great nuanced performances of like the challenges and like the, not regrets, but just the wondering and the curiosity of like what would happen if something just worked out a little bit differently. And between that, as well as its discussions when it comes to immigration, I just thought that the movie was very special in its very nuanced approach to this story. And I just keep thinking back on how much it affected me, in that it's such a common idea, it's such a common wonder of like, what if something different happened like that, and what if this and what if that. And so I think for that reason, it's just a very masterful job when it comes to direction, as well as with a incredible score that I think needs to be appreciated more than it's seeming like it is right now. And I just thought it was a beautiful movie. I have to put in number 2.
Wow.
Yeah.
My number 2 is Godzilla -1.
Whew. There it is. And I knew you loved it. I was curious where it was going.
And if it's not Kyle's number 1, then it's an absolute travesty that he never mentioned it. I'm just going to say that. It's ridiculous. Yeah. And if it is his number 1, then it's ridiculous that he didn't mention Oppenheimer. So
Alex is not is going to be sweating.
It's ridiculous. Godzilla, my number 1 and number 2 are the 2 movies I've thought about more than any movie this year, and I've thought about a lot of movies. I've said it a couple times already. Godzilla -1 is incredible. It's a war movie. It's fantastic. I've seen it on so many people's top 3 of the year. I think it's rightfully deserving. I've literally not stopped thinking about it since I've seen it. It's maybe the best Godzilla movie. It's arguably the best movie of the year. It makes you feel things. It makes you cheer. It makes you cry. It makes you root for humans in a movie where I want to go in and watch Godzilla kill the humans. And I was rooting for the humans. That's very rare for me. I adored Godzilla Minus One. It is my number 2 of the year. And now it's time for the drum roll. We always say these at the same time. So, Kyle, on the count of 3, we'll say our top 3 of the year. 3, 2, 1. Cocaine Bear. My number 1 is Past Lives.
Yeah.
And I had a feeling. I can't believe Godzilla Minus One wasn't even an honorable mention for you. What the heck is wrong with you?
Very good movie.
What's wrong with you?
Crowd of year.
Shut up. You sit here and you scoffed at me in Saltburn, and you don't even give Godzilla Minus One some love. Like, at least I'm giving movies love. You're not even giving Godzilla love, man. What is wrong with you?
Go to the review. Check out our other videos. Go to our review. There's some.
What is wrong with it? Roast him in the comments, please. That's how you get a hoodie. All right, Kyle, you got Oppie at number 1. This is the first time. This is history. This is the first time ever we haven't had a movie land in the same spot, and it's like maybe the second or third time ever we've had different number 1s, and I think this is probably the most different top 5 we've ever had. Kyle's got movies in my top 10 that I don't even know if he saw. So
no, these lists were very different. This is unusual for us.
I love it.
This is awesome, though. Yeah. Anyway, do you want me to go first?
Stinks. Yeah, go ahead. Oppenheimer, go ahead.
Oppenheimer. Yeah, look, I'm a Nolan guy. I love my Nolan. But I really don't think when it comes to it being a number 1, there is that bias to it. I just think when it comes to what he has done with this story, it is a masterclass in like movie making when it comes to everything from its direction, from the writing of its script, the editing process, especially the editing process, its score, just the way that it's able to build in such a dramatic fashion for a story that is almost about humans in a way, about the feeling of humanity in a sense. And I think that anchored down by a performance by Cillian Murphy, it's incredible work by both him and Nolan that they were able to make this movie succeed as much as it does and just have you hold your attention through like its 3-hour runtime. And of course, I could go on about the stacked cast and how amazing everyone is, no matter if it's like a bigger role or a smaller role. But, obviously that list is just too long. But at the end of the day, I think this is going to be considered one of Nolan's best work, if not his best work, because everything about this movie, I'm talking about for the rest of time or whatever.
I think.
But as of now, it's the movie that I keep thinking about, and I just keep blown away by just all the big things that he does in this movie, all the way down to like the little nuances throughout the story. So I put that at number 1 for all those reasons. Just a fantastic piece of work, fantastic piece of art by Nolan in telling this story, and props to him. This was an incredible movie.
Yeah, Oppenheimer's fantastic. It warrants a number 1 spot. I don't think it's biased. It's that good. My number 1 is Past Lives, but shout out to Cocaine Bear. Fun movie. Past Lives, I was late to the game on. I watched it about a month and a half ago, and those are the best performances of the year by far. If you think Emma Stone is great, you need to see Past Lives. If you think Cillian Murphy's great, go see Past Lives. And they're phenomenal, and they are worthy of an Oscar. Past Lives shook me to my core how good those performances were. Shook me to my core. I thought the direction, everything about it was brilliant, breathtaking, heartbreaking. It made you feel so many emotions. I've thought about that movie constantly. I mean, really my top 4 movies, I've constantly thought about Barbie, Oppenheimer, Godzilla, and Past Lives more than anything else. And it has been an incredibly stacked year. This is going to go down as one of the best years for movies in history, I think. I don't think it's going to end up beating the best year, which is 1994. But I do think that it is going to compete for a long, long time. There are so many good movies. I mean, I had Killers of the Flower Moon in my ranking at 12, and I think rightfully so. I could have put it at 6, 7, 5 and been happy with it. But this has been an incredible year for a lot of movies. Past Lives is my number 1. I think it's brilliant. It's going to make for a very fun Oscars. Maybe it's so diverse, Kyle will watch the Oscars for the first time in 10 years. But he'll be mad when Saltburn wins one thing. It'll be like, Saltburn wins an honorary Oscar just because Alex likes it, and Kyle will he'll go full Gungan. This year was fantastic. And I want to bring this up very briefly. I wanted to do it at the end. there has been a lot of discourse I've seen online a little bit because a creator I really like, who's not a critic, not a pundit, but a creator, a content creator for movies who I really like, was talking about how he doesn't think that the best movie and your favorite movie should be different. And I've seen a lot of people be like, no, they should be different. He's like, no, that doesn't make any sense because it's all subjective anyway. And I do think there is some, look, when you look at our top 10 lists, they're going to be different based off of favoritism. Some of it is just favoritism. I put a Talk to Me up high because I think Talk to Me does, throughout the making of a movie, I think it does things new in a new, different way that is going to help change the horror genre. I think When Evil Lurks is one of those as well. Mm-hmm. But a movie like Godzilla, I think, is also changing the genre in good ways, but is also just incredible. Like, it's fun. I have a lot of energy with it. Like, I felt very, you say Mission Impossible, you put John Wick in there for really great action movies. And it's like, are those at the end of the day better movies? Are they made better? When you look at the technical aspect of how you make a movie, are they made better than is Mission Impossible better than a Killers of the Flower Moon? Killers of the Flower Moon is probably more technically made better, but that doesn't, you have to equate that one-on-one on your own. So I think those can be separate. I think this is our favorite movies. These are our top movies of the year. Favorite and best are going to be factors in that list. But you can say, look, I freaking loved a Fast and the Furious movie. I didn't love Fast X this year, but you can say, I loved a Fast and Furious movie. I would put it in my top movies of the year. I loved it. I had so much fun. It was awesome. But the best movie was actually Killers of the Flower Moon because of everything it does technically and the way it's shot and the cinematography and all that. But I had more fun in one. I think that is a completely valid argument. So I want to know what you guys have as your best movies of the year. What did you think of our list? Comment those. Stay part of this conversation. These videos are going to be posted all over the board. But yeah, so let's wrap this up. Any final thoughts you got, Kyle?
Saltburn? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
No, these I like their list is so different because at the end of the day, it is nice to be able to have access to such a wide variety of stories and tastes. Like that's like the best part about these lists is that you could maybe have not caught a movie or decide not to see a movie, and then when you hear so many good things about a movie at the end of the year, it will make you want to check them out. And especially in 2023, where we've been saying over and over, there's a lot of great stuff out there. So give lots of these a chance. Like Alex mentioned, one of his horror movies that he really loved. I haven't been able to check it out yet. Now I definitely will.
Which one?
So I can't remember. It was at your honorable mentions.
Oh, When Evil Lurks?
Yes.
Foreign film. It's balls crazy.
Nice. On Shudder, you said?
It's wild, man. Yeah, it is on Shudder. That's where I watched it. It was like $6 for the month. I just watched the movie. But and I watched one other movie on Shudder because their horror movie is like deep cut horror. And I wanted basic. I wanted to hit some of the basic movies I hadn't seen. But oh man, it is wild. It is wild in what it does.
Love it.
It is crazy. But yeah, guys, what do you think? Comment below, let us know. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Check out our most anticipated 2024 and all the other great videos we got up. And roast us in the comments, please. And as always, thanks for watching, Mom. Get one of these hoodies. Thanks to Moo Meal patrons. Yeah, again, one more time, final time. Thanks for watching, Mom.
See you guys.